welcome back to the Chronicles of the Purple Knight. This is level 11. We've been making some decent progress. Quests done since the last time. The first two in the Temple of Elemental Evil, which are level 8. They are the two that comprise the Temple of Evil Part 1 in its old iteration, if you remember that. If not, it's the two starting ones, because it asks you to do it in order, doesn't it? Not the fire node, water node, all that. The two first ones on the left as you go in. The Haunted Library and the Xorian Cypher, both of which are in Jorasco. Xorian Cypher, you will need a means to tread on 4 pressure plates at once. So I used my Gold Seal Hireling, the Cleric Eliary, just a standard hire there, and I used a Summons as the 4th one. I was standing on one, obviously, and then I had these 3. I put the 2 Clerics on one side, if you know the quest, and I had me and the Summons on the other side to activate the way forward in there. That went pretty well. The tougher one was the first one of the Temple of Evil. You get these groups of things, quite a few of which are ranged, and the biggest problem was the section with the harpies when they started on with that soothing song, and I couldn't really do too much, and things were still attacking me. I came close to dying in there. The negative energy burst heal definitely helped there to keep us alive, that's for sure. And yes, I can hear you from here. The skeleton would likely have helped as well, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I will say it's by far the toughest of the hirelings or pets or summons that I've seen. That's as much as I'm going to give it. So, spells. I mentioned at the start of the last one that I hadn't found anything to add. Well, it's very clear that I hadn't looked very hard, because I could have added all these at the last level and didn't do. The Firewall, which is a really great complement to the web spell, because for reasons best known to the game, it doesn't burn the webs, so you can web something up or a group of somethings, put the fire on, and as you're flailing away at them, the fire's burning away quite nicely. With that in mind, I swapped our negative ruby in the Black Razor to a ruby of combustion, because the negative one's irrelevant now, as we have negative on the belt here. Nullification there. So now we have a decent fire spell power over 200, as well as the acid one if ever we need to swap the imbue. So fire is like the backup one, but I've been making good use of this wall of fire, so I wanted a reasonably strong fire. Also, the energy criticals we've got from our arcane past lives have meant that the fire crit chance, although we don't have an item actually boosting fire crit chance, it's up at 22, because we have our Spinneret ring giving us spell law 4. That's 4 crit chance to all spells, so that's not bad at all. And unlike the imbue, the wall of fire will benefit from the crit chance. Other spells I've added that again I could have added at the last level. Invis, situationally very handy. Fireball and acid blast, I don't imagine me using too much of those. They're not that expensive, but non-meted, then I don't think they're going to do too much. I could try, but I can't afford to quicken them, certainly. I've rejigged the gear a little bit to accommodate these excellent damage reduction boots. DR15 is insanely good at this level, and very good going up, let's say, 10 levels higher. So we had to have those, which meant we lost our Seeker from the boots, so I've put this Slave Lord's item back in, which has Seeker on it. Also the Demon Heart Emerald, which has a chance of giving us a few temp hit points when we are hit, so that's not terrible. The rest is a bit surplus to requirement. I think... oh, I swapped in a Sapphire of Defense onto this item because we had 2 items with Sapphire of Heavy Fort. So I put the Sapphire of Defense there because the ring that was in this slot had sheltering on it and we lost that. So I've been using the augments to plug the gaps in the in our defences. Other than that, I think it's pretty much all the same. So we have had access to a couple of level 6 spells now, which I've taken. I've taken the right ones, but I forgot to add them in. What a muppet. Where can I go? Looks much better, doesn't it, this Nightmare Horse or Reaper Horse or whatever it is with the Pale Master. The unicorn somehow didn't seem to fit. Right, so spells. Yes. So greater heroism, so we don't have to bother messing about with belts and things. I will add that in here somewhere. Get all these extended, so unless it's a really long quest, these buffs should never run out because they're lasting what, 22 minutes now. And true seeing as well, I've already seen the need for that, as well as finding some secret doors in heroic with a lower DC. The main use of it for us is going to be to be able to hit reliably things that are blurred and displaced. Otherwise we're going to have trouble. So we definitely don't want that kind of trouble, so we're going with true seeing there. And I've just remembered, have I forgotten the Arcane 6? We don't have any Arcane 6, do we? The spell ingredients. Crushed Black Pearl or Omni Spell Dust. I don't think we have either of those, do we? What's that? Oh, 7 Omni Spell Dust. Okay, well that'll do for the for one quest, won't it? I'll have to remember to go and get some. So, back to the Gatekeeper Grove. I was thinking we could test this character with a run through White Plume, because there's all sorts of stuff going on in here. Now, the thing I need to remember is there is a shrine at the end of each mini section, so really go for it with the temporary boosts, the melee power, the Reaper's Strike, all these little things, the haste, the displacement, death auras, know the angles, power up as much as possible, use everything at our disposal, maybe even chuck a couple of spells in and see if we can make it relatively straightforward for ourselves, because if I try and conserve stuff, I don't think we're going to do very well in here. I do have the hold monster on a reasonable save there, 41 if a Reaper pops up, because now from level 9, which is level 11 effective, the Reapers have leveled up, and I don't want a souped up Reaper wailing away on us if I can help it. I've got a nice little selection of buffs now. No stone skin wand anymore because we've got that DR15 from the boots. To have that always on a melee character who's in them always taking damage is just amazing. I'm really hoping that and the defences we already have are going to see us in good stead here. So the answers to this riddle, it's either the moon or multiples of 6. So in this case, I think it's the moon, 6 or 12. That's how I remember it. I always start with the left-hand one. And one of the things you need to remember here if you're a regular soloer, but sometimes go in groups, apparently if you're not the first one across this bridge, somebody's passed before you and not disabled the traps. The bridge hasn't come yet, I've rather jumped the gun. But if they haven't disabled the traps, you can get hit quite nastily. It's this thing here. So going across on our own is alright, but if there was somebody behind us, we'd be in trouble. Now that's an invisible something or other, isn't it? Come on then. Here we've got two little things that open up with some ghouly things in them. Oh, there's a Reaper. Yes, beautiful. We love it. See how strong he is. He's not dying, is he? That web did a damn good job for us. Right, so that's everything. We've got some more coming up ahead here. God, I pressed the wrong key. Yeah, okay, moving on. Buffs are running. Stacking the web and the firewall. Beautiful.
A narrow winding path leads over a drop into beds of spikes and whirling blades.
Try not to look down here at the Reapers and the horrible stuff that's waiting down there if I fail. Oh crud, I nearly fell there. And that was because I was looking down. Okay, first boss, so we'll put all the buffs on that we can. Will our true seeing reveal that door? Yes, it does. That gets us a little bonus. Oh, Christ. It's not the first boss, is it? I've jumped the gun again there. Yes. Okay. I wonder if we can knock this lever. No, it's just a trap, isn't it? We're going to have to get ready for the onslaught here. Nice one, nice one. I remember that being a particularly nasty spot when I was trying that on Reaper Legendary with my druid. You really had to prepare for them beforehand, otherwise they just swamped you.
The door clicks as it unlocks, and the water begins to drain away at last. To your surprise, a mouth carved into the stone wall announces your presence in a booming voice.
Let's get stuck in.
Guests approach.
All boosts on. I think my firewall just died a death because there's an ice storm here. That wasn't good, was it? Bit of a waste. Come on, we can do it. Yes, good stuff. Don't go for the left-hand chest, that's a mimic.
As you touch the crest, it fades away. You hear a bell chime in the distance.
Okay, let's remember to
You are
shrine.
one step closer to your objective.
So far, the chuck everything at it plan is working reasonably well. The firewall seems to be doing alright. It works particularly well for this character because he tends to, well, obviously he attracts a lot of things around him because they're trying to attack him, aren't they? So to fight inside that firewall is great. So even if there are things that don't get held by the webs, usually they'll get damaged by the fire. Now what's this one? Trying to remember other things in me. Oh, there's some, is it some kelpies or something? Oh, we've no more buffs. Okay. I really don't want to melee these, they can be quite nasty.
Green, feminine forms emerge from the water with a
Okay.
splash.
Good stuff. I like to collect my mysterious remnants because those are what I use to get the little augments that I'm using to fill in the bits in the gear. So we failed there against the Reaper with the hold. Now then, Mr. Crab, I think we'd better rebuff because this could be a long one.
Enchanted walls pulse and sway with the water currents. The walls don't look very sturdy, so best be careful near them.
Is he immune to... he looks to be immune to acid. Let's try fire. Is the fire hurting him or not? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Can we try electric? That's hurting him, isn't it? Yeah, okay. We'll stick with that.
Small section of one of the magical barriers tears.
Come on.
Scalding hot water streams in. Another barrier tears, releasing even more scalding water. The crab seems unaffected by the heat, but you need to be concerned.
Come on, we can do it. Stand him up, put the fire... oh, he doesn't... he's immune to fire, you pillock. Nice. Okay. Well, that was rough.
There's a low hum, and the barrier barriers shimmer with energy.
But we never looked like
The
dying, I
tears
don't
in them
think, so that's a
close,
positive.
And the water begins to drain from the chamber. As the water recedes, you notice a crest marked with a trident toward the back of the chamber. Another crest claim.
And I guess the higher up in level we go, the longer these spells are going to last, so the more efficient we're going to be with our mana. Aside from the know the angles, which is just a flat 2 minutes, these are going to end up, what will they be? They're 212 now, so we could assume that at level 20 there'll be, I think they might still keep going up in epic, might they? If we can get them up towards sort of 4 or 5 minutes, that would be way nicer. Now this thing apparently, can you see this sort of green blob thing in front of us? If you hit it with a fire spell, did I get it there?
Bright green slime covers.
Oh no, can you see? You can just see it there, the outline. Let's see if we can. There you go. So any kind of fire spell and it dissipates. I could have just wandered through it and done a cure disease spell, but just for the purposes of the demonstration. Pretty good. And we should be able to unlock this, so we take a bit of a shortcut here using the knock spell. Nice. This one is 9. It's something to, we've had this before, haven't we? Something to do with the numbers divisible by themselves and 1. What do they call it? A prime number, is it? I think.
It will serve you, and the others will allow passage. Pick wrong, and they will kill you. You have 1 minute.
I think the first time I was faced with that, I did answer it right, but I'm not sure I knew why it was right, and I'm still not sure I do now. Okay, anything else? There can be a champion round here, can't there, in the chest? Yeah. Nice one. I can still hear somebody fighting somewhere. Ooh. Oh, that little, do you know, we've ended up with a hireling, even if I don't want one. Definite feather fall on here. Now those spell points are looking a bit fragile, aren't they? But we are going to get a shrine again, aren't we, before going into the end fight, and I think we should probably use it. Oh. See, at the moment we're out of combat, so even the lesser death aura is healing us quite nicely. It would probably be ticking for 1 each time if oh, there you go, if we were in combat. Now there can be a fight behind this door, so I think we're gonna have to buff here. Yeah. Right, let's get in there quickly while the buffs are still going.
An unnatural darkness fills the room.
This is where my druid always makes the most of his sunburst spells against the shadows. I think we're going to use the fire and hope for the best. Don't forget your boosts. Don't go in those damn circles. Come on, that's good, that's good. Yeah. Nice, yeah, look at them getting burnt by the fire. I think we are liking our one offensive spell so far. That's been beautiful. Hammer crest. Let's not forget to shrine. There's a chance that I might have made it on what spell points we had, because I would just have had to have put the 4 short-term buffs on. But having come this far, I don't particularly want to risk it. Obviously fire is going to be utterly useless here, but I could throw in the odd acid blast. Oh, now we don't have... I thought we had 7 of those Omni things. Maybe there's something else I'm casting. Oh, is there... Oh, we can't have true seeing for this last bit anyway. Not to worry. So all the buffs are refreshed. We want fire shield cold, don't we? 50% less damage from incoming fire, which there's going to be a lot, I'm sure. We'll double up the death auras, so we've got the lower one and the higher one together. Boosts on. Hammer them. I would have preferred the 2 to be together. Acid blast. Did it do anything? Not much, did it? It's doing a bit, the acid blast. Not terrible. But if I didn't have mana to burn, I wouldn't be chucking that around. It's something we can use, isn't it, when there's a big crowd of things. And when they're immune to flame. I prefer the firewall. I think we get more value out of that. Just sort of always on while we're running around killing things. In the meantime, survival-wise, I thought we did well there. Presented with a sort of variety of challenges, and we did okay. Met them head on. Managed to hold monster, the odd thing, didn't we? So, yeah, I think it bodes quite well going forward. We've got a good mixture now of attack and defense between all the offensive things in the Harper tree, allowing us to use intelligence to do the damage, and the offense in the human tree, and the spell sword in the Eldritch Knight, and then we've got all the defense here. The Lich is giving us fortification and con and magical resistance. That magical resistance imbalance that I found in the last episode is down to this leech bonus, 15 MRR. So we've got 10 from our set bonus, and another 15 for being a leech. That's why it's sort of skewed as it is that way. But yes, another 6 on the negative crit chance, so that's to do with these ticking death auras. And also, what have we got? 30, 42 negative heal amp. Do you get some negative heal amp in the cause as well? Yes, you do. 3, 6, 9. So we've got over 50 negative heal amp from the investment in here so far, which is not too shabby at all. It's being enough to, in most cases, between that and the boots we're now wearing for the damage reduction, it's being enough to combat the incoming damage, unless it's something really spiky. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we're going at the moment. It's kind of living up to the brief I had when I started, which was not to abandon the spell casting side, and to use that as a complement, and to help him where possible, and to make the thing less one-dimensional and so more fun. And hopefully we're on our way to doing that, although it has led to some challenges, and I will continue to do on the gear side. We'll have to make some pretty engaging choices. Do we go for spell DCs, or spell power, or melee power, or all this kind of stuff? And the higher up we go, I think the more we're going to be pushed to choose. If there is going to be a focus, it's going to be on the enchant DCs for the enchant DCs and spell pen for the mass hold. If we can get that to work, and we can wade in and start ploughing in with the Eldritch Strike and just these strike through cleave attacks that we do, I think we could be pretty effective. In Epic, I could see us making really good use of anything that gives more damage to helpless targets, like the crush weakness that you can have from 25, is it? I absolutely agree with, I think you're called Wagon, otherwise known as Rogue Splash, when you said that the what's it called, Shardstorm Epic Strike would be is it an Epic Strike, that, or is it just a primal spell? Whatever the case, it would be awesome, an awesome complement to this build. That being the case, I'm really reluctant to go back into primal, because we've been in there for the last 2 lives purples done, and I want to try and see what some of these other trees have got to offer. So I was thinking, what was I thinking? I did actually do some thought on this, and what did I come up with? Fury was definitely one, because that's got some helpless damage in it, and I think Strike Through as well, both of which would tally really well with our build. Fate Singer was another one. The mantle with the sound in there, I think, is quite strong. And also, it would go really nicely with our sort of casting and melee side, because in all the cores of Fate Singer, you've got spell power, melee power, and +1 bonus to all DCs, which is, you couldn't say nicer than that, could you? And the third one, what was the third one? Those 2 I'm thinking might be the main 2, Fate Singer and Fury, just as an experiment to see what they can do. And the third one, to be decided. Maybe Primal, maybe Shadow Dancer could be nice for some evasion, and that too has both melee and universal spell power in it. So that could be a good fit, the cores in that build. 11 in there would give us evasion. So that's something to consider. And as we have insightful reflexes, our evasion should work pretty well. Our reflex save should be quite high. I think I have waffled on enough. I plan to go through the last two of the Von 3 and 4. If you can believe me, having been in the game for a good number of years now, I have never done the Von 5 and 6 to my eternal regret. I've never seen the dragon, never done the raid, because most of the time I'm on my own or with one or two people. I think you need, generally speaking, you need at least 3 or 4, don't you, to do that one. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's a sad point, but yes, I've never done the Von 5 and 6. It would have been an awesome one to do this time around because the very rare, what's it called, the rare sword, two-handed sword that comes out of there, would have been perfect for us to take on into the later heroics. What's it called? The Sword of Shadows, I think, isn't it? SOS, yeah. Otherwise, we'll have a go at the what's the other? The Red Fens in Kundarak. We'll do all those, I should think. And I think that might be pretty much it for. Oh, there's one in Delira's graveyard as well, a level 9 one, which I might have a go at if we still need a few more to get to the next level. Right. On that happy note, I will say farewell for now. Thank you very much as always for looking. Hope you're all doing well, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.